Richard studied communication and Spanish at the University of Arizona, and the sort of detail in which he's gone into to get a real understanding of the way in which people can communicate effectively. I've heard it so many times, Kevin. People, they call you up on the phone and, 6 seconds in, you just want to slam it down because it's just not engaged you. And then midway through the podcast, he shared a way in which he could engage us. And the way in which he did that and the explanation that came with it is worth listening to this podcast several times over. So if you're listening to this, press replay, and go through it again. Because
I'm conscious that we got into some very deep stuff
very quickly,
early in the conversation,
yeah,
without really putting it into context. Now go back and listen to those first things that Richard said about was it micro communication?
Yeah, phonetic. But the point about Richard's phonetic micro expression, I think
that was the one. That was the one.
And for mastering verbal tell signs. So if the thing is, there's so much more that we can dig into. It's like an encyclopedia on this, and the way in which he comes across. What was really nice is used some English artists, if you like, to help him, form a style of communication. And I probably said that wrong, but nonetheless,
saying that as I was listening to Richard, is he really from Philadelphia?
Yeah, well,
it's not American accent there, but he could be British the way he's talking.
I don't think it was going to be British, but you could have almost said that he'd lived in Britain for a while. And the fact that he's listened to Hyacinth Bouquet, it says it all. Bucket or Mrs. Yeah, but it's so engaging, and it does lend a bit of time because you want to know more. Love this episode. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting and sharing a bit of time with Richard Blank. If you want to find out more about Richard and his business, it's all one word now, Costa Rica Call Center, the American spelling of center, .com. So that's Costa Rica Call Center, and then you'll be able to find out more about Richard and how he might be able to help your company, because I know that he can help you, whether that's inbound or not.
Communication skills. You'd have thought he'd learn how to spell center properly.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, the majority of his clients, I'm sure, would spell it ER instead of RE. But I still think they're right and we're wrong. It just doesn't seem right. Center, does it? But center forward, I don't know, maybe not. We're going off on a tangent, but today, well, it's been another brilliant podcast, this time with Richard Blank of Costa Rica Call Center. He's been brilliant. I've been Graham Arrowsmith.
I've been Kevin Appleby. Goodbye.
Goodbye.